Hello, my name is Pip Hall. I am a writer and a water ballerina and a mum and a chaser of the joy. The Wet Hot Beauties was a crazy idea that my friend Judy Dale and I dreamed up about 6 years ago on the couch over some glasses of wine. And we were really keen to inject some more fun into our lives. We'd been to book club, wasn't that fun? I wanted to try something different. So we came across the idea of synchronised swimming. We rang up a club and said, hey, we'd like to synchronised swim. They're like, yeah, fine, how old are you? And we're like, well, we're middle-aged. And they're like, sorry, can't help you. So that kind of kick-started us off into forming our own group. And it morphed from synchronised swimming, which was way too hard for us, into water ballet. And that's really where the Wet Hot Beauties came along. We're fully inclusive. We call ourselves contemporary water ballerinas. So anyone can do it as long as you can count to 8, you can join the group. So synchronised swimming is an Olympic sport. It's done in a hugely deep pool, you can't touch the bottom. So when we tried, it was way too hard for us. So Linda McFettridge, who was our first choreographer, came up with the idea of moving to the kids pool. So actually a lot of what we do is an optical illusion. So we look graceful, like we're floating up to about here, when actually we're just madly crouching down and scrabbling around on the bottom of the kids pool. Our first year we had 13 brave souls, and it has totally morphed into this giant water ballet community of about 300 past and present whānau, and there's about 50 on a small year and about 100 on a big year. It's changed my life a lot. So I'm one of the, not only am I one of the founders, but I'm one of the producers, so I've had to become very organised. And as one of the performers, I find it's been really empowering for me. I love meeting all the women, and for me, being a middle-aged woman, it's been kind of a struggle finding where you fit, because you know, youth culture and women kind of tend to be seen as having an expiry date. And so it's been really empowering to create this group for us, and it's become a haven, and we really can celebrate who we are and how beauty comes in many forms and everyone's shapes and sizes, and it's really cool. Like, our youngest member is 16 and our oldest is about 63. So I had the opportunity to speak at Sydney at the TEDx conference, and I was part of the TED Global Talent Search. So I think it was 2012, they put a call out all around the world to try and find new talent. So you made a 1-minute audition tape and wrote a few paragraphs about what you'd like to speak about. So I was really fortunate to be picked. So I got up on stage in my togs, or my swimsuit, and I was covered up in a robe as well, so I did a kind of reveal. It was a big deal for me to go and talk at TED, and I was nervous and excited and challenged by it, and I thought it's not going to be any more scary doing it in my togs, but it really illustrated what I was trying to say about joy and, you know, making yourself vulnerable and taking on risks. Yeah, I thought it was a good way to actually show how far I'd come by forming this group, by having, you know, the courage to get up there in my togs. I'm a playwright. I've written quite a lot of plays now, and I also write for TV, and I'm just starting to become a film writer as well, which is pretty exciting. At the moment, I am writing a new play, which is a kind of a theatrical exploration of Nancy Wake. Nancy Wake is a New Zealand-born kind of World War II spy, and she was the most wanted person on Hitler's list. She was called the White Mouse. She lived in the woods with 7,000 French resistance soldiers for like 10 months. She's amazing. She seemed to have no fear. She claims that she was never frightened in her life. And she had this great motto that I really love, which is eat, drink, be merry, for tomorrow we die. What would my advice be for people finding joy? I think there is a perception that I found that joy is spontaneous, that you can't create it, that you wait for joy to happen, and it certainly is. I mean, a lot of joy is spontaneous, but what, especially through the Water Ballet Company, we found is you can really help yourself and create joy. So a lot of stuff for us was getting off the couch, doing stuff. Don't just talk about it, do it. Some other things I've learned about creating joy is letting yourself be vulnerable, and it's really hard to do, but what with the water ballet isn't, you know, just to keep that metaphor going, none of us have done it before, we're in our togs, it's silly, no one knows what they're doing, some people thought we were really weird and uncool. We thought we were cool. But embracing that vulnerability has really helped with our joy quotient. And, you know, getting rid of your self-censor, which is really hard. There's lots of kind of things you can do to create joy.